G'day, I'm Ben from Catch Pro Australia, and this is Lawn Care Skull Sessions with the bearded lawnsman, BJ.
G'day, mate.
How badly have I cooked that intro?
Boy, stagger start.
Sorry, we had like a 1 week break, so it's like I've forgotten what to do.
Yeah, fuck. Sorry about that, guys. I lost my voice. Too much passion down the coast with my missus left me in some trouble. So I couldn't make it happen.
But we're here now.
Guess who's back?
Back again.
Yeah.
So what else has been happening in the last 7 days, mate?
Oh, last 7 days, mate. Even without a voice, I've still been kicking goals. Boys are doing their own thing now. Truck's fucking doing what it's supposed to do. Get me to, out of the main rig, and I'm running around. Quoting some big jobs. There's one there that's over 1 kilometre of hedging at a very, very prestigious village. And
a contract that I actually tried to pick up for, I guess I wasn't as persistent on that one, just because I know, like I learned some of the details, which I won't blow for you.
Yeah.
Like you can explain it. But hey, kicking goals, getting the...
Yeah, dude.
So it's like a 50-acre site, right?
It's a 50-acre site. There's 304 villas. They're actually building it's like a high care needs facility. There's going to be 8 stories, house over 1,000 people. And so actually on site, there's 10 full-time gardeners. Like, that's a lot of gardeners. Then there's a full-time manager who oversees them, and that's who I met with.
I bet you he's a prick too.
Mate, he's actually a top bloke, a really good dude.
Nah, he's a prickhead.
Oh, have you met him?
No. It's just that you can tell, like, usually the people that end up in those roles are sort of, they're not hands-on, they don't get on the tools.
Oh, he's hands-on. He had the full Russell belt.
Oh, no.
Yeah, man, he had the full Russell belt. He had his Akuba on, hands were dirty, so
yeah.
Really good dude. He actually...
so I just got to stop talking smack, right?
Stop talking smack about my friend. He actually would be someone who would be really good to get on the podcast. He was...
I'll fucking diss him in person then.
Oh, shit. He actually was the head gardener for Parliament House for a long time, so I think 10 years, and then he did his own hydroponics and aquaponics shit, and then he stumbled upon me, and we just passioned the bushes for a bit. And
crazy.
Yeah,
so did you get the job or what?
Oh, I'm still waiting. We'll see. I hope I do, because it's literally 5 minutes down the road from my house, and it's a good earn. It's not as many visits as I'd like during the year, but
foot in the door, right?
Foot in the door. It's always good when the guy gives you the last contractor's prices and frequencies. So
yeah, that's gangster.
And you know what? That's a networking. So this came through a lady who owns a cleaning business who I used to do a $60 mow for 2 years ago.
Wow. Hey, so that's networking at its best, people.
100%, man. It always pays to leave on good terms. Obviously, there's some fuckheads out there that will be like, get fucked, suck my dick. But this lady, when I got my villages started and I started kicking goals on the bigger stuff, I said, I'm really sorry. I can maintain your property until someone else can slip in, but I can't do yours anymore. And she's a lovely lady, and here we are. Hopefully I can get it.
Yeah. And I know from how you're saying foot in the door and 50-acre site with 10 full-time staff and, obviously a manager, and then isn't there also a different independent mowing company that does the grass? Yeah.
So, and the thing is with this is...
are you going to sabotage their work to try and get...
No, I don't think I need to. So whoever the contractor is does an amazing job. The place is immaculate.
So maybe you just need to, not instead of sabotaging their work, sabotage them.
Yeah.
Not sabotage.
Well, I don't think I'll need to, because they've been doing... Sabotage. Did you say sodomise? No. So they've been doing it for 15 years. So I think at some stage that contract will get turned over, and hopefully if I can maintain the hedges and keep that up to A1, then they'll look to me for the...
I just want to point out that, my comments, I'm only messing. I wouldn't ever... sabotage anyone's work or sodomise them to get their job. So I'm just messing. But what I was getting at is, like, I always felt maybe just before, I mean, I always had these ambitions anyway, but, you know, maybe a couple of years before I started Catch Pro, my ultimate goal was to try and find the biggest and largest and most prestigious site that I could have a full-time team on, and not do anything else. You know, like like you were saying, like a Parliament House, or you know, something like that, where you know, and even have, like, with your staff, like, a proper system. So obviously you'd be at the top. Then you have, you know, a guy underneath who, you know, sorts out, maybe he handles all the chemicals and, you know, things like that. That was always where I wanted to progress to. Not as wages. Like, I didn't want to be that dude. That I wanted to get a contract. And I didn't want it to be multiple sites. I just wanted one fucking massive site. Yeah, because
I feel myself being pulled, because I have 3 or 4 big sites now. I see myself being pulled to each one of them at different stages.
Isn't it great getting pulled?
I love it.
Who gets pulled these days, by the way? Anyway, I know Leroy does.
Shit.
So, speaking about foot in the door again, today's episode is brought to you by Trade Tools.
Whoa, look out.
Now, we don't have a code for you guys yet. We are working on that.
That's awesome.
But Trade Tools have finally answered some emails. I don't know if it was me just being a pest or if we actually did get on someone's radar.
Maybe it was a bit of networking. Who knows?
Barry Crowhurst, General Manager of Chevron, not Chevron. He helped me out a little bit, so thank you very much, Mr. Barry. Can't wait to get you on again. Great friend of the show.
Hopefully he can release some of those secrets he was holding so tight last time he was here.
And you know, like, Ego is a brand that's always evolving. And you picked up some more Ego pieces. You got the little hedger now.
So
when you get amongst the mowers?
So I've actually decided to go with Ego. So it was a difficult choice, but I just had to be realistic. I've had a few issues with my Husqvarna stuff. Not the workings of the hedger itself, but batteries and chargers.
Stock levels, right?
Yeah, none in Australia. My charger, like a 500, like the quick charger QC 500, shit itself, and I fucking rang nearly every dealer in Brisbane. I did get a charger, but it's a trickle charger, so it takes 2.5 hours to charge a BLI 200.
Does that battery now last longer? That's how it works.
I have no idea.
Okay.
I have no idea. But
I have no idea. I haven't really worked that much lately.
I just needed it. No, look, it charges the batteries, and that's what I needed to do for the moment. But I think moving forward, I feel like Ego, they have like a bigger presence than...
Mate, they fucking have the stock coming in.
Yeah, they have the stock. They have the presence on every platform. Like, they're all over it. And it just makes sense to go with someone you can contact. Like I've said on this podcast before, I've contacted Husqvarna for multiple demos, and I've been stiffed on all of them. So, and that's on all platforms, including ringing the local rep.
You know why that is? Because you don't have an Instagram following of 30K.
Who the fuck in Australia has an Instagram following of 30K?
Well, there's a few, but...
I've been hammering.
I mean, you weren't reaching out for any sort of influencer content. You were just reaching out.
I was reaching out for a demo.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's a bit sad, but it is what it is, man. It was going to be genuinely a good avenue to take, but they don't have shit to fucking buy. So
yeah. And honestly, the Husqvarna battery range, and really most of their range, I think probably exception with their zero turns, is good quality stuff.
Yeah.
And I would still recommend it. But you know, when we're talking about batteries and chargers and what have you.
Yeah.
you know, you need to know that if you need to get something, you need to be able to purchase it, right?
So and saying that too, I've been, you know, batteries were hard to come by when I first bought my Husky stuff, and it's just gotten worse, and I've had it for months. So the problem is not gotten any better. It's just gotten worse and worse and worse to the point now there's no chargers. So now I'm seeing people saying, you know, recommending Husqvarna. I'm like, oh, you know, to new people just getting into it, I'm like, how do you recommend something that you can buy as many skins as you want, which is mind-blowing. You can buy a fucking 50 pack of skins.
Yeah.
Trying to get a battery or a bloody charger, you're in trouble. So.
And we are for the people.
Yeah.
So...
The People's Podcast.
Yeah. The People's Champ. Wait,
what are you smoking?
It's like a cherry bomb.
Is it a blunt?
No, dude, I don't smoke weed.
Oh,
so
dude.
It's like it's not a cherry cigar, but
it
it's
smells
like
nice.
I mean, it's got a filter. I mean, that's kind of weird for me.
If you could stick to those, it smells good.
It's like, imagine how much that would cost me.
No, I mean like just for the podcast.
Oh,
yeah. I don't mind a bit.
Do you want a puff, bro?
Nah, I sound like I've still got a bit of dick in my throat.
Anyway, just quickly back to the trade tools.
Yeah.
Now, guys and girls, we understand trade tools is only in Queensland.
Yep.
And we don't have a code yet.
No.
Now, they've agreed to, you know, we can use their name, right? See, up here, that's where we purchase our, like if we, you know, when we went and bought our Ego stuff, we went to Trade Tools.
Yeah.
To our local Trade Tools store. And you know, every now and again I purchase online.
Yeah. I always look online and then go in store because there's nothing better than going and touching stuff.
Yeah, I get lazy. Like if it's something that I know that I need or want, like say for example, my Milwaukee riveter.
Yep.
For Catch Pro, I had that and then I was thrashing through the batteries.
Yeah.
And I realized like I really need another battery. And so bang, online, boom, you know, as long as it's in stock.
Yeah, that's an easier thing. But when you go in just a shop.
That's dangerous to me.
It's dangerous to me too. Oh, I get to deck out, like my wife said I can deck the shed out.
Yeah.
So, fuck. Oh, yeah, what can I put in there, Ben? Give me some ideas. We'll sit down.
Flashlight, Blowmaster.
Oh no, both of them. Shit. I'll never come out. I'll only come in.
All right. How about we get into today's episode?
What is our episode today, Ben?
We've been absent for a week.
Yeah.
So today we're trying to bring you a fun topic, and we are talking about zero-turn mower features.
Yeah.
Now, we decided to leave out best zero-turn mower features because we've got a bunch of features here. Some of them are great. Maybe some of them are a little bit gimmicky.
Yeah.
Now, BJ and I have not tried all of these.
No.
I have looked into a bunch of them.
Yeah, you would have seen a lot more in person than me. Seeing as how you've had to fucking touch and test every deck on the market.
But you've seen more boobies than me, right?
Oh, maybe.
How about we set this off, bro? Like, let's just say, you know, what's like something that comes to mind to you?
Okay, so one of my first mowers was a country clipper. And the first thing that you told me about when I was looking at mowers, you go, oh, country clipper, check the deck. The deck is no joke, a 30-second flip-up deck. And it's actually awesome. So you don't need to put up on ramps to change the blades, anything like that. Check the spindles. You just need to pop a couple of, I think there's 2 pins on the side, and then you just lift the deck and it rolls on a set of wheels and it's facing you. It's awesome.
So it has like a belt release.
Oh yeah, the belt tensioner, yeah.
So by the way, not only does this thing have a flip-up deck, but this belt tensioner release is just fantastic if you need to change a belt. You wouldn't flip the deck to do it, but you know, you don't have any springs and jigs and stuff like that. It's just got
Yeah, and I never had any issues with it. Like, we did a good couple of 100 hours on it, and I never had any issues with the belt tensioner coming off or anything like that. So
Now, I had a country clipper, obviously, as well, and by the time I had sort of finished up my stint and moved on to stand-ons, I did actually get to the point where I was unable, like with my back injury, I was unable to lift my deck by myself.
Lift your deck.
Yeah, I'll never say that. There is an element, but I do believe that some of the more commercial models, or maybe it's an extra attachment, but you can get like a drill jig on it.
Yeah, there is.
Which is fantastic. We have that on our Mojack that we sell. Where do we sell that again?
Oh, I think it's at catchpro.com.au.
That's the one, yeah.
That's it.
So I got 2 in stock.
Yeah, I got myself a Mojack.
Yeah.
I love it.
I don't have a Mojack. I'm using the Super Jack.
Yeah.
It's not commonplace for me to be lifting mowers anymore.
Yeah.
Now, truth be told, and we got to get back to the 0-10 mower features. I can't actually lift my V-Ride with the Super Jack.
Oh, for real?
But I can lift a bunch of other mowers. It must just the V-Ride must have a lot of its weight centered. It must be it's a very compact unit, but like all the weight is distributed in one spot.
Yeah.
Which is a feature in itself.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I know other people more capable of myself. I have no core strength.
Yeah, okay.
Rusty can lift the V-Ride.
Yeah.
You'd be able to. But anyway, back to the clipper.
So clipper, yeah.
So the flip-up deck now, it's got another feature.
We've spoken about it before. It's the joystick. That no gimmick joystick. That's actually a really cool feature. I've heard a few people say, "Oh, what about the hydros?" And it's
seriously, dudes, it is gangster as. Now there is. I don't want to lead people astray because Country Clipper is a fantastic product, pretty good build, reasonable components. But one thing that I have learned since moving away from Clipper, and then just jumping back on one, is that the top end speed is just not very fast.
Yeah.
And that is even across like some of the bigger and better models.
Yeah.
And that's coming from obviously our Skags are pretty quick.
Yep.
Cutting at 16, 17 Ks. Yours is faster.
Yeah, mine's at nearly 20.
I think the V-Ride is like 17 or 18.
I think the V-Ride's about 18 point something.
Yeah.
And mine's a little bit faster, like just under 20.
Yeah, and I feel that. So let's say when I mow the paddock out here, I don't know if anyone can see out the window. I'm not mowing that at 18 Ks.
No.
But I've got the option to if I want to.
Yeah, exactly.
Great features, little bit of a drawback. So something that I'd like to talk about now, I don't even know if this is in Australia, but the John Deere mulch on demand system.
Yeah, now I never heard about it until about half an hour ago when you told me about it.
Yeah, so let me explain. So this thing, essentially it's it's got a built-in chute blocker, right?
Yep.
But not only is it just a flap that comes down, it actually has, so you press a button to do all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
So there's no cables, nothing like that. It's all electric. You press a button and the flap actually comes out of the discharge chute. So it's kind of like, so it comes out and then folds down.
Okay.
And underneath the deck, you have these circle baffles that go like, and isolate each blade.
Jeez. Okay.
So what we do with the Pro Shield or the advanced chute system, or what Grass Lap does,
yep,
they're legitimate chute blockers. This is a legitimate mulch plug.
Yeah.
So like I said, I'm not sure that like I've never seen one in person. I've watched videos.
Yeah. Now I wonder how good that would work in Australia.
Well,
because
gotta be honest,
I'm feeling like Americans, they're tipping like maybe 1 or 2 inches off the top, and it'd be light, wispy grass.
Look,
you drop it through some fucking
let's
cooch
not
here.
even. I don't even want to go back to the mulch vest thing. I'm so fucking sick and tired of it.
I know, it got a bit too out of hand there. I think everyone ran with it.
It's horses for courses.
I don't give a fuck what you do.
Yeah, I just don't. Seriously, I'm exhausted by it. I don't even want to fucking talk about it.
All right.
So what else have we got?
So, obviously with the Spartan, you've had a fair bit of experience on the Spartan. It's,
so the Spartan...
It's got a few little, I don't know, a few little features that I've got a bit of a love-hate. Like, I understand it's got the keypad. That's a new feature. I don't think there's anyone else that has a keypad.
Yeah, not sure. Now, the keypad... I think the keypad itself has great features. I don't know, and by the way, I can speak from first-hand experience. Yeah. I don't know that I love starting a machine with a keypad.
Okay.
Just turning a key is just way more natural.
Yeah.
Look, I love it for security reasons.
Yeah.
The other day, for example, I needed the Spartan. And Rusty had it, and he changed the code. And mate, I couldn't access the fucking machine.
Yeah,
like you couldn't do that. That was it. It's just a big fucking chunk of metal.
Oh, okay.
So that's a really great feature.
Yeah.
But I know when I go to jump on my V ride, for example.
Yeah.
As soon as I've touched my foot on that platform.
Yeah.
The machine's already running. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, across the Spartan range, these mowers really are packed with features. You've got Spartans with built-in lights, which are pretty fucking impressive, to be honest.
Yeah.
They're all recessed and, stuff like that. The King of Grass Bush Ranger stand-on, in particular, it has an optional adjustable seat. That's pretty cool on the stand-on. It has front fenders on the front caster wheels. Now, there is an independent mob in America, MT360 Fender.
Okay.
And he makes them for everything.
Oh, okay.
And we have a relationship. I don't sell them because he, it's another one of these export things. He's like, how the fuck do I send them to you? And, stuff like that. I'm all in on the fenders. No gimmick.
Yep.
They fucking work. So Rusty made his own fenders.
Oh yeah, I know, rustified fenders.
For the other Spartan that we were demoing. And what it does is, when you're doing all your paddock mowing, it just stops all that grass piling up on the deck, which,
Firebug.
Well, yeah, but when we would all do the 40 acres, remember we'd have little timeouts and we'd get our
blowers out,
our battery blowers out and blow everything clean. And I still had to do it on the Spartan.
Yeah,
but it minimises it.
I wonder if it stops sticks and stuff flicking up too.
Yeah, I mean, well, look, I think it's.
Did you ever get stuff stuck in there though? Or are they set high enough to avoid that?
So the way that the casters really work is when you're driving, the front wheels, like the front casters, the fenders are this way.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So then, like it's stopping everything coming up. So, they have some other features, in that keypad, which is like your engine hours and your blade hours. I think that's really cool. Just helps with servicing a little bit. Moving on from the Spartan, Ferris have some pretty cool features. They got this soft ride suspension.
They do. That's a wicked. It looks pretty cool. Those two big, those two big coils at the front. Do they also have a pivoting deck?
Well,
or is it one or the other?
So I don't think that they like to call it a pivoting front axle because there has been some controversy surrounding pivoting front axles.
Oh, okay.
In the sense, so like I know Cox had a pivoting front axle. Country Clipper has a pivoting front axle. just going back to the Spartan, I believe it might be their top end model along with the stand on. They've got front shocks.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And they are like the first thing that me and Rusty looked at is I can't wait to fucking try this. And what we're all concerned about with pivoting front axles or shocks is that when you're driving and going forward and back and changing speeds, is everything dipping?
Yep.
Because the deck is hung from the frame.
Yeah.
And if the whole frame is moving down, you get scalpage, right?
Fair enough.
Does Skag have any sort of pivoting front axle options on any of their mowers?
No, I don't think so. No.
That's all right. Pivoting front axles, I think, are really great, you know, when you're coming along, say, spoon drains and bits and pieces, because it allows, like, instead of you cutting something and you're scalping on one edge and this side's high and dry, it allows, there is a certain tolerance.
Okay.
So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I do believe the Ferris soft ride suspension system is a little different to that.
Oh, okay.
Now, I've, you know, messed around with the 36 stand-on, which apparently has its own suspension.
Yeah.
Look, it was going back a while now, and you know, that's a 36 rear discharge machine. It's not like we were messing around with it.
Well, that's a bit of a feature in itself, that multi-deck fucking disaster thing.
It's a feature, yeah.
Yeah. It's
you know, they call it like a half baffle system. It's been reasonably popular in our market. Yeah, it's like a niche on top of a niche.
Yeah.
You know, like you have a stand-on niche market, then you kind of got a 36, which no matter what is limiting.
Yeah. And then it's a rear discharge.
Then when you add a rear discharge to it, it's like, well, fuck.
Yeah. What else? What else?
So, but the Ferris soft ride suspension system, that's something that they put across all their commercial models.
Okay.
It's been tested up against every single suspension system, and I don't believe it's a gimmick. I think it has credibility.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, well, I've never been on a sit-down Ferris before. I've tried that little 36 that you had for a little bit, but never been on one of the big boys.
Yeah, I've sussed them out a little bit. I wouldn't say I've done a lot of cutting with them, but you can always kind of a little bit gauge, you know, what the American market's really into.
Yeah.
And they're pretty big on, you know, say Ferris Skag.
Yeah.
They've always been, you know, lined up.
Yeah.
Across the board.
Yeah.
We've talked about certain brands being huge in certain markets.
And different areas of the country would have different mowing conditions and...
Like I think I spoke, you know, Hustler's like really big in the south. And, you know, other brands do well in certain territories, but Skag and Ferris seem to just do pretty well everywhere.
Yep.
Can we just talk a little bit about the Walker?
Yeah, so there's a few that are the direct collect machines. There's a few that, you know, stand out. I know Walker is definitely one. I think Walker's probably the most popular direct collect in Australia.
Probably really the world.
You reckon the world? Okay.
In terms of volumes,
yeah, okay.
Across, you know, in terms of volumes globally, Walker probably controls that market. There's obviously other players.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't believe that Toro. I think they call it the Toro Direct Collect or fucking.
It was the X-Mark Navigator.
X-Mark originally had it, and it probably still came out in America as an X-Mark, but over here they just bung Toro on it.
Yeah.
And I just don't think even Skag had a model, right?
Yeah.
What do they call it?
I think it's a Cougar.
Yeah, Cougar.
Shannon. I'll probably stuff his name up, but I think it's Shannon Patel.
Yeah.
He purchased one off
Steven. Yeah. There's one floating around. So
I really wanted that machine, but my wife said no. So I really wanted to collect it.
It's been around.
It's a slutty machine.
So I mean, back to the obviously we got Gianni and Ezeki maybe.
Gorillo.
There's a few other those European types.
I think
no matter what, the Walker is the they're the leader in
and they have both mulching, side discharge, and the direct collect. So they sort of have something for everyone.
The direct collect that they have. Really, the features do go on and on. You got your high dump.
Yep.
Fantastic feature.
Yeah.
Now, mechanically, I don't know. Like, yes, we've owned a Walker.
Yes.
We put it on our village at one point. And we didn't have a high dump.
No.
But yeah, they got tons of. One thing that I like, we never got it, but you can get like a normal rear bagger system.
Yep.
How the pipe just fills up the bags and you can just slide the bags out and empty them. Walker actually have these little bins that can do the same thing.
Oh, okay.
Because what Rusty was doing was reversing up to a canvas bag, tipping it, and it's a pretty extensive type of. It's not like the catch row where you're taking it off, emptying it.
If you don't have a high dump on a Walker, it is a bit of a pain in the ass trying to fill a bag by yourself. If you got an offsider, then you can just grab and be like, hold this bag. Yeah, it's definitely a pain in the ass. I didn't mind the Walker. That was my first ride on, was a Walker.
Yeah.
I didn't mind it. Maintenance very heavy. But that's not really.
But the actual features.
Features.
So and it doesn't have a pivoting front axle or anything.
It also has a flip deck, so that's another cool feature that it has, is the flip deck. It makes it really easy to get a hold of those blades and change them quite regularly. Especially if you're using a Walker, you want to use sharp blades to.
And guys, realistically, a legitimate floating deck.
Yeah.
So Walker definitely has some fantastic features. Now, we have a bunch of other brands and features to get through, but what about just your everyday 12 volt USB? Lots of the commercial brands are doing it now.
Yeah.
But how great and handy is it?
It's pretty cool. I have to admit that I've never used it.
Okay.
I'm pretty anal about charging my phone overnight and things like that, and my headphones. I have a jack that, they're constantly, if they're not on my head, they're plugged into my car.
Okay.
So that's I've never had to use it, but I definitely think it's a great feature for things like flats and changing your tyre pressures and things like that.
For people who aren't as perfect as BJ.
Oh, look at me, I'm so perfect.
No, I definitely capitalised on it. I don't actually have the feature on my V-Ride.
No,
but I got my own accessory that we sell from Ballard products.
Something that's cool that Skag have actually done is they have a pre-cut hole underneath your sort of the sticker that they put across. It's not like a sticker; it's like a thick decal.
It's a decal.
It's like a big decal, and there's actually, you can feel it. There's a hole underneath that you can just cut out.
And you can just slide yourself in and just cut yourself up like a mother.
Just slide on in. Just don't forget to spit on it first.
You can just see someone riding and they've just got their two fingers in there just while they're riding. Oh boy.
It's been a while since we've been together, Ben.
All of those USB accessories and stuff like that are going, on the mowers. Great features, I think.
Yeah, and it just gives you more options. You can chuck lights up and whatever if you're in a special area where you need to. It just makes things easier. You don't have to wire it up. You can just plug it in and away you go.
Yeah, sure. Is yours to direct power? Like, you don't have to have the key on for that to be working, right?
I have no idea. I've never used it.
Look, I don't believe it would be, but a scenario would be, I know I used to do it, and our accessory that's available at Catch Pro is direct to the battery.
Okay.
But when we used to do the 40 acres and then we have Smoko, I could just plug my headphones in, leave them on top of my machine.
Oh, okay.
They get a charge up,
that's awesome.
Before I go. So, that's not a particular branded thing. That's just something that's happening. I think it should be on everything now.
Hey, can I mention a feature that I think everyone has failed on? Cup holders.
Yeah. I was like gonna say something before.
Yeah, I think that's one thing no one has gotten right. It depends.
We've talked about it.
Yeah, we've talked about it before. I think if you've got the right kind of drink holder, beverage container, then maybe you'll come up with a winner. Like I know a 1 litre Maxim. Is it Maximum or whatever?
It's Maximus.
Maximus?
Dude, they're your Greek gods.
Sozzies. So they fit quite snugly in them, but I don't know.
Nah, let's face it, they all fucked it.
Yeah.
They just fucking have, like...
I just don't understand why they're not a little bit deep. Like, they're not deep enough. Like, who doesn't love fucking rolling early morning, mowing, coffee... But
yeah,
you don't have to get off every 5 minutes and pick up your coffee cup.
Yeah, and I do also think, I don't know, like I always found it difficult. I mean, look, the KG was all right because I think it had 3. And I believe only one of them was credible in any sense. Like, it was in the panel.
Okay.
And so...
I'm still confused with why the fuck they would put 3 in it. Why not put one good one?
Well, so one of them is probably... I would say it was credible.
Yeah.
The only bad thing is because we drilled an extra hole for the 0-turn handles...
Yeah.
Then... depending on what drink you were carrying in there, those handles could then bottom out on your drink.
Oh, no.
So there's things. But I think at least 2 on a commercial machine is great. And I've always said, now we're supposed to be talking about features that we like that are actually out there, not features that we want. But I have always said that I strongly believe that these commercial mowers need to have some sort of, not a toolbox, but an enclosed, waterproof carriage of some sort where you can put your keys, you can put your phone, maybe a bottled water in there. Yeah. Like I used to make my own ammo case.
Yeah, I used to use ammo cases, eh?
And Ed Wright has one model where he has it on the stander, like opposite the battery.
Who is it?
Cox Mowers.
Who is it that has a pouch?
Cox Mowers. I don't know if it was the Super Cruiser or the Cruiser, the 0-turn. They had a toolbox in the foot panel. Okay. Fantastic. You know what I mean? Like,
and you don't even need that much room, like to put a phone, keys, and wallet in.
Like, they've all got molded storage.
Yeah, but you'll fucking
But mate, you'll fucking
mow the 40 acres, you'll fucking lose your keys before you get out onto the main paddock.
Yeah. So it's something that I've always, and it's not a gimmick thing. Like, you know what I mean? If you're going out mowing for 4 or 5 hours plus, you want some shit with you.
And it's frustrating too. Like, it's not every day like you're wearing fucking army pants with 36 pockets like Rusty. Sometimes you're just wearing a pair of shorts, like a normal pair of shorts, and then...
I know that the older version Gravely Pro Stance models, they have a little bucket carriage in the panel with a little friendship mesh thing to put over the top so your stuff doesn't bounce out.
Okay, that's cool.
That's pretty cool. Now, we do have Gravely on here. Obviously, this feature is kind of old, but I think the foot pedal on their stand-ons, they were the first to do it. That's why I didn't give Spartan the credit.
Okay, yeah.
I think that's a fantastic feature.
Yep.
Because it allows you to hover over objects, help out with scalping, so...
Yeah.
So I think... I believe they're still doing it on their models. Is that correct?
I think...
I'm a little bit down on the Gravely just because stock levels have been so bad. We haven't been able to see...
It's rare to see one in person.
Yeah, so...
I don't mind the idea. I don't think... Like, I haven't really found with the V-Ride that I need. I don't know if it's because it's only a small deck, but
I'm all in.
Oh yeah, on the foot pedal.
Yeah, look, I think
I know that I'd fucking fall over the bastard. I know that I'd just go to step out and just fucking get hung up on it or something.
Yeah, I mean, look, maybe it takes a sec. Like, I mean, look, honestly, I loved every bit of it.
Yeah.
I could have my foot on that pedal if I was doing a really sexy lawn. Even when I do like a zero turn, I always loved lifting the deck up to just do the turn.
Yeah.
Then your blades aren't sort of going the wrong way over the terrain.
Yep.
So I'm all in.
Yeah, well, I do that with the Tiger Cat when I do a turn. I'll lift the blades. I don't know if it's just out of habit or if it's just.
If you watch my earlier, I've spoken about it before. If you watch my earlier country clipper videos on YouTube with the Catch Pro, every single zero turn it's not like I lifted all the way up. Yeah. I lifted a little bit.
Well, see, I came from the country clipper that didn't have a deck lift.
And it was their biggest fucking flaw.
I don't understand why they went from having... Well, I guess we had different models, but yeah, that sort of machine...
They cooked it so bad.
Yeah.
Because not only did they not have it, but they had a handle, and you have to take your fucking hand off the joystick to fucking operate it.
It's weird.
So no matter what, you have to become stationary.
Yeah.
To lift that deck up and down. Now, whether you're just whether you're jumping a curb, whether you're just going over a speed bump at the village, all of these things, that's where you want the operator to be able to keep their hands on the drive system at all times.
The fact that it was on the same side as the joystick,
it's fucking absolutely
was so dumb. Like, at least because it was kind of like a handbrake. So if it was on the other side, you could you could just feather it. Like two dicks. Yeah. But
Hey, mommy, I'm a farmer. I'm a farmer.
Look at me milking my machine. So it's it was a big
fuck
flaw.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, no. All right, so look, we got a bunch more machines to get to, but let's take time out to talk about bad workwear.
Oh yeah,
it's frosty out there.
It's fucking freezing. Truth be told, I'm actually wearing Ben's jumper right now because I left mine at my village that I attended this morning,
and it's like, I don't know, it's probably 16 or 17 degrees.
It's chilly. So I'm almost at the point where I'm going to just grab Ben and cuddle him until I'm warm.
I'm crooked.
Oh no, I still have a crap voice. But anyway, if you're after some warm gear, go and hit up badworkwear.com.au and use the code SKULL and you'll get 10% off at the checkout. Their gear is warm.
Now, I just want to give everyone a heads up, right? I don't know if you can double up codes.
Oh.
But FYI, they have end of financial year 10% as well.
Oh, okay.
Now, if you have to use one, please use the skull code. But
please,
just a heads up.
Yeah.
Now, if you can double up, hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to try that.
Yeah. So
why not?
Hey, and then you'll even earn $2 back for yourself.
Oh, depending on what I buy. No, but I bought a couple more. Man, I don't know why. I'm addicted to the hats.
Yeah.
I fucking love them. I love a nice plain hat.
Mate, I wore my Sherpa out.
Oh, I love that.
I wore me Sherpa out on Friday night.
Did you?
Yeah. Gave Rusty a go of it.
Yeah.
Damn, that boy looks...
God.
He does it better than me.
He's so handsome.
He does it better than me.
He's so handsome.
So, something else now. We do sell workwear gloves.
Oh, but
Bad Workwear, they have like insulated ones.
Oh.
For those frosty mornings on the zero turn.
Yeah.
Now, I would... Huh?
40 acres.
That's right. Ooh. So definitely take a look at their range. They've got a ton of new jackets out.
Oh.
Now, not all of these jackets, are going to suit in our climate, like up in Brizzy.
But they got shooties and everything. So they got high vis shooties. They got vests. I'm going to hook the boys up with some shooties. But you also said that you mentioned to me last time we were talking about Bad Workwear that they have a printing service.
So I believe, and we don't look at it really at all, but I do believe if you scroll all the way down and have a look through the fine print, I think they do have a printing service where you can, for your crews, you can get your own logos put on top of their logos, or potentially they have blank clothing.
That's awesome.
Because it really is, like, let's just take the t-shirts for example. I think they're retailing at $15.
Yeah.
You sort of can't afford not to wear them for work.
It's awesome. And then you take 10% off that.
Yeah, so
or potentially 20.
maybe right now.
Maybe right now.
So definitely check out Bad Workwear.
Code Skull, all in caps. Get it on ya.
Yeah. All right, back to the show. So, what do you got?
I got Skag, man, my faves.
All right, let's talk about Skag.
Now, I feel like Skag really, they don't have a lot of gimmicky features. I think basically they're just solid mowers. They do have the Tiger Eye though, which I think is a fantastic feature.
I personally love the Tiger Eye, and like before I got my V-Ride, I remember thinking about how excited I was to have the Tiger Eye system. Now, it's not like it's just a display in the panel.
Yeah.
It counts your hours, tells you your voltage.
Yeah. You can also get, you can get it changed as well. You can get like your oil pressure and all that sort of stuff. There's something else you can get in there. I think you can get a fuel gauge in there as well.
Okay, now I'm glad that you brought that up. The Spartan has a digital fuel gauge.
Okay.
And look, it's cool when your tanks are more than half full. It's accurate. It is accurate. I've just kind of always felt, like just the normal fuel gauges on the magnets.
Yep.
I've just always felt that they're easy to process how much fuel you actually have.
Yeah.
Digital fuel gauges are sort of, I don't know, it's like your brain is like, oh, okay, I've got 1 bar left. How long's that bar really going to last?
Yeah.
Whereas when you look at a normal one, you could be like, okay, I got a quarter or an eighth of a tank. Once I get to an eighth, my anxiety goes fucking until I have to go and fill it.
Yeah, that's something I don't like doing. I don't like running any tank empty, like in my car, in my truck, in my fucking...
My fucking wife, seriously.
So does mine.
My wife almost makes me just like end up in like the fetal position on the floor. Like, why are you doing this? She fucking drives around with the light on.
Yeah.
For like...
Yeah.
I can't do it.
My wife goes, oh, my light's on. I've got 25 Ks. It'll be fine. I'm like, fucking, just put fuel in it.
Yeah, like I just go directly to... I don't even know if the Ram has a warning light because it just fucks with me too much.
It does. It fucks with me too. And then it always, like, I know you guys use the Ram a lot as a family car, but for us, like, Lou's car is the family car. So we go to jump in it. Fuck, there's no fuel.
Yeah.
So always, and for some reason, it's always when I jump in the car, I'm always filling her fucking fuel tanks up, and she knows it, and she thinks it's funny. I think sometimes she just leaves it just in case I'm getting in the car.
Yeah, and look, the same thing with the mowers for me. Like, if I was going to mow 2 acres and I had anything less than like half a tank in there, now half a tank would get you through.
Oh, easily.
Like easily. But it's just one of those things like, oh, maybe I'm exaggerating. Maybe if I had like anything less than a quarter of a tank, I'd just fill that motherfucker before I went out there. All right. Well, what are we talking about?
We're on the Skag.
Okay, so Tiger Eye system. Look, I think, not only do I think it's a great feature, but I think the way that it visually looks, like the way that it's actually displayed, like I think mine's like blue and...
Yeah, they all are. They're blue and they have the different like little emblems on it. It's baller. I love it.
I like the Tiger Eye system. And like I said, really other brands have similar systems.
Yeah.
But I think they got the Tiger Eye pretty close to being right.
Yeah, it's spot on. So something that came out, I think it was GIE last year or this year, is the...
Hasn't been on this year, pal.
No, so it must have been last year, is the new seat for the cheetahs. So there was a bit of... People were umming and ahhing about the seat on the cheetahs, and they've brought out a big this is like a Mack truck seat. It looks absolutely perfect. Like, for someone like me, That's the seat I want.
You know who I can see on? Well, obviously I can see you on that seat, but you know who else I can see on it?
Who?
Mike McCain from one of the American pages. He's like an African American.
Oh yes. Oh, he actually went out and bought a Mack truck seat and like fitted it.
Oh, is that?
That's why it rings a bell, man. Because he's got this big high back seat and he absolutely fucking loves his Skag. He bought it second hand. And he's just been chipping away, working on it, making it like as pimp as he can.
I like following. I'm not sure. I don't actually follow like his socials, but Mike McCain on, is it either Lawn Care Mafia or Stripe Life? Or
I think he's probably on most of them. But and also the Cheetah has their own. They have this like a special suspension seat. It's got these big shock absorbers, and you can tune it into your own weight. Same with, like, it's not the same as my Tiger Cat and the Turf Tiger, but you can also, they all have those super comfy dial-in seats now.
Oh, those seats are beautiful.
Yeah, and you know what? One of the nice features is the fucking seats are completely different. Like, they're not black. They're not, like, the Skag seat, I reckon, looks
and
pretty pimp.
Because
I think with the Bollard, like...
Yeah, because I think on the V-Ride, they sort of had, like, a bone-coloured pad originally.
Yeah, they used to, yeah.
And... I don't know, like so I hated the actual pad on that V-Ride 1.
The V-Ride 1.
But the bone coloured, because they had seats that colour as well.
Yeah.
Back, and I don't know, like it kind of, I've told you before, sometimes some of these like bright yellows and reds and stuff, and oranges included, they kind of piss me off, but and then you've got like these full black seats where in our market, you go to sit on one of those motherfuckers and it'll fucking scold you.
Yeah, that's true.
So the V-Ride, mine, has like a nice brown...
Yeah.
It kind of gives you a little bit of that Western feel, hey? Like a cowboy feel.
Yeah, it is nice. It's like a tan.
I bet you people are fucking laughing like crazy. But like, that's how when I used to go and mow the 40 acres in the middle of summer and stuff like that, when I'd go, like my machine was like my worker for the day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like I don't know.
It's nice to be on something nice. It's nice to have nice things to work with. Like when you buy tools, like if you're a carpenter, I'm sure like if you've got a choice of Ryobi or Makita or fucking Milwaukee or something, you're always going to go for the higher, like the Milwaukee or the Makita because it's just a nicer feel and things like that.
Which you can get, by the way, online at Trade Tools, right?
Oh yeah.
We don't give a fuck where you live. Support us. Yeah. Go to Trade Tools online.
Well, what's the other one? Sydney Tools? Is there like Melbourne Tools?
Yeah, but we got beef with those motherfuckers now.
Do we?
Yeah, because apparently they're all independent.
No way.
So, unless you're purchasing from Trade Tools, you ain't supporting us.
Please go to Trade Tools.
I haven't told BJ the whole agreement yet, so he's just learning the agreement.
Probably after this, you're probably going to hear a knock on the door and... A couple of dudes will be there. We're here for our hand jobs. BJ, you're up.
Moving on.
You know what?
Okay.
I just wanted to say, no, it's not about Skag. It's about like most brands. You know what I'm really digging at the moment is the fact that lots of brands are starting to black out panels on machines.
Yeah, dude.
Feature-wise, I think that's fucking cool. I think...
Well, it just goes back to all those loud colours. Like, there's not anything that anyone else can really do.
Yeah.
Spartan sort of went with that grey with highlights, which I think is great. I think the Skags, obviously you've become very accustomed to the orange.
Yeah.
And it's not the most... there's enough black sort of... They're not just like one big orange.
No, there's enough.
You look at some of the Hustlers and they're just like a big fucking yellow blob.
Yeah.
Same with all your Toros.
Yeah.
I sort of always liked the Bobcat stuff. Like when it was green, it was kind of cool. Now that it's black and white, it's way cooler.
Different. Yeah. And so with going back to Skag, like obviously there's a little model of a Patriot in front of us, and that's got more black than it does Cat's Eye Gold. So That's pretty cool. Like, it's just something a bit different. I like it.
Yeah. Look, things have to. I think it is tough. I was going to say things have to evolve, but then again, there's like some old school aspects. That you look at it and you're like, geez, they've never really, like they've kind of done something and they've stuck to it.
Yeah.
Like I think, like in New York, there's like that taxis, like there's still like the 50s taxis.
Yeah.
Stuff like that's kind of cool. Hey?
What do you reckon is the ugliest mower?
The ugliest mower? Mate, I tell you, I already know it now. It's not in our market. I'll have to think about something in our market. But
I know.
The fucking X-Mark Staris.
Yeah.
Google that shit and you'll immediately start vomiting on your keypad.
And if you're not, then you're one of a million, because it's a fucking hideous looking thing. What else have we got out there that's pretty gross? I don't like
from a Cub Cadet. It's kind of gross.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not gonna say. Like, I don't think the Pro Z. Actually, the Pro Z's on our list.
Yeah,
we might jump to that one straight after this. The Pro Z is not an ugly machine.
No.
But Cub Cadets are pretty fucking ugly.
Yeah.
I think Husqvarnas are pretty ordinary.
Yeah. They're a little bit Starisy, I think.
Yeah, I mean, look.
They're like the ugly stepsister.
They're commercial models. Well, they're kind of like an ugly Skag. Similar orange. I can't think of anything that immediately stands out in our market. Like, I know when I look at...
Grasshopper?
Oh, it's the two-tone poo.
It's the two-tone shit.
It's Gary Ashton's legs. Grasshopper would be up there.
Yeah,
and they're a great machine.
Yeah, but they
just for a certain market.
They just look like sturgeons.
I just can't believe that like someone was like, oh yeah, I'm going to build this kind of tough machine, market it towards sort of like the agricultural farming side of that, and I'm going to paint it 2 different tones of a poo brown.
Do you think he like bit into like a fucking Snickers and was like, oh, pooey on the outside and a little less pooey on the inside. Let's do that.
So I tell you what, I reckon would be cool would be, like I'm just saying, like a new brand to come out with. Like the Toyota Tundras, those American trucks, or maybe there was like a Ford Raptor that might have had it, but it's like kind of like that army green.
Oh yeah. That'd look pretty
slick on a mower, eh?
Yeah.
With black highlights and shit.
Yeah, army green is cool. I'm pretty sure that someone out there would have powder coated their machine army green. There'd be something out there. I know there's a few camo ones out there. I think John Deere did a camo one for one of the GIEs, didn't they?
They did a white one.
Yeah, they had one with a silver deck as well.
Maybe that's the one I was thinking of. Look, there's not that many other colour schemes that a brand can go with. I mean, why the fuck any other brand would come out with a yellow, orange, or red is fucking beyond me.
Yeah, there's no blues. Like, there's no...
No, so there was Dixon, which is now gone.
Oh, yeah.
There's that Ezeki.
Victor. But I mean, like, you got Carrillo went lime green. That's pretty crazy.
I like it.
Yeah, I don't mind it. It's something different. Lime green with the white bagger.
I'll tell you one that looks alright. The World Lawn brand... Their machines are just red, but like their stickers and stuff are kind of like a little bit colourful.
Yeah.
And like I know the World Lawn Gator, it kind of looks cool.
Well, they did a breast cancer machine and it was hot pink. I remember that, and that looked cool as shit.
Yeah, I thought I was going to fucking win that, eh? I don't know why. I was like really hopeful.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Benny.
Yeah, so...
You're puffing on now.
Oh, real cigar?
That's a real cigar.
I'm just playing around. Like, I'm just holding it.
Yeah.
Okay, sidebar. So the Pro Z, now it has a steering wheel, guys.
Yeah.
Look, the steering wheel is really cool for slopes.
Yeah.
It fucking is. I messed around with one. One thing I didn't like was the top end speed. It, for a commercial mower, I just don't believe it had enough speed.
What do you reckon you were going, like clipper speed?
Yeah, maybe 12 Ks.
Yeah. That's not fast enough.
Maybe a little faster, I don't know.
Unless you are doing just hills and shit like that, that's not fast enough.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to use the speed on hills and, some of the... Because it is a very credible mower on hills. But I just think the fact that you have a foot pedal and a steering wheel, like, in the right conditions, you could open that thing up to like 22, 23 Ks.
Yeah. And
it's not going to feel anywhere near as fast as what it would if you were using lap bars.
Yeah.
So, look, the machine itself is, I know we're talking about, features. So the build and things like that is not really super relevant right now. But overall, great machine, steering wheel, build is good. I just think they kind of missed the ball a little bit on that speed. I'm not really sure what the comfort is. Once I sort of worked out the speed, I kind of got over it and just got off the machine.
Yeah. It's hard when you've been on some of the faster machines and then you go to something slow, you're like, ugh.
Yeah, and, I've said it a million times. I mean, you say we got beef on it, or at least we disagree on it. You're like, I love the 32 because it's fast. And I always kind of say, I don't know that you really need that speed on 32, but at the same time, it's good to have the option.
Yeah, because realistically, like if you're going to get one machine, you want a machine that can cover a lot of ground and also cover
so get a 32.
Yeah, but you want tight access as well, because let's face it, the way that these estates are being built is ridiculous. You'd be lucky to get a fucking 32 into most of them.
Actually, just double backing back to Skag. Something that I do like is this cigar annoying? Okay. Something I do like about the Skag is they have charge pumps on all of their hydros.
Oh yeah.
Now, I'm not going to talk that much about it just because I don't really understand the technology and the science behind it. I've tried to learn it, I just don't understand it. But it's something about like these charge pumps, I guess when you engage the hydros, instead of any lag or anything like that, they're ready to be used at maximum speed.
Yeah.
Ferris have them on not all their models. I think Skag have them on every model.
Yeah.
Ferris have them on some. Look, I'm assuming other brands do some.
Yeah, there's
but it's a standard with Skag. Yeah. So charge pumps, very credible system. We talked about the Pro Z with the steering wheel just recently. We talked about that. What about the Toro MyRide system?
Yeah, so that's
you haven't tried it?
No, I haven't. I've seen it and I have sat in it, but I haven't used the machine while.
So similar. I haven't cut any grass with one, but I got to be honest, it was fucking nice, man.
Oh, really?
It was real nice. Now, behind the scenes, a fellow that we discuss with. Behind the scenes manufacturer.
Yep.
They believe it's too much.
Oh, okay.
Which I think too much is a possibility. Yeah, in the concept, like
what do you mean?
Not with the Toro specifically, but I'm saying too much suspension. You might be sort of. I don't think you're doing too much damage, but you could be getting fucking seasick or. Yeah, it's a proper. Like
so,
what it's doing is not only are you on a suspended seat, you're isolated from the movement of the machine. Then your feet are on a platform that is also isolated.
Ooh, I can feel myself getting seasick already.
No, I tell you, it's really nice.
Is it?
Yeah. Okay. Now mechanically, I don't know the longevity of it, if it has flaws or anything like that. But the MyRide system, I think I like it.
Now, do they have MyRide in the higher end machines? I feel like it's like a mid-range machine.
For some reason they have like it on the time cutters, which...
And the Titans?
I call them time wasters.
Yeah.
Look, I don't know what the new ones are like. we sell a bunch of Catch Pros to them, and the old ones never had the My Ride system, so I don't know. And the deck is much better.
Yeah, and
on the new ones.
Yeah,
even though it's got a funky as cutout, the deck is a better deck than the old time cutter. No, the Titan, look, it's a great machine. People will say in our market, like, oh, that's a residential machine. But, mate, you could use it commercially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, I actually, the other day, I had to go to KC's and I got eyes on a few of those Cub Cadet machines, some of the lower models, and like, fuck, that would last about 2 weeks in my business.
Some of those...
They honestly
some of those Cub Cadet, John Deere and Husqvarna like ride-ons, they just look like they fucking seriously look like the biggest pieces of shit. The thing about a rounded pressed deck is that they have a really beautiful cut.
Yeah.
Because everything circulates more, but it seriously looks like you could fuck it with a steel cap boot.
Honestly, some of those Cub Cadet Ultimas, I thought, fuck you.
And it's such a shame because the Ultima, like, we're getting hit up for catches all the time for the Ultima.
And I looked at the deck straight away. I was like, fuck, I know what Ben's talking about now.
Yeah, like the machine itself is really not that, like, pretty good machine, but they cooked that deck so hard. Like, I don't know how strong it really is. It doesn't look strong to me.
Yeah, and you know what? Cub Cadet seem to be one of the ones that have been able to keep up their stock levels for some reason.
Oh, they're just so big.
I guess
they're so big.
While I was at KC,
you go to a dealership and there's like fucking 100 mowers.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Holy shit! Like fucking punching them out.
So. Can we just briefly touch on something that is not really specific to a particular brand? I don't know who did it first, but it's the flat free front caster.
Oh yeah, that is something that I love about the Skag because I know that I probably have had a few run-ins with sharp objects on the fronts. But did the Country Clipper have those?
I don't believe so.
No, I don't think it did.
Look, my V-Rider has it, and I absolutely swear by it.
Yeah.
The Spartans don't have it. Maybe they have a commercial model like that has them. Any of the ones that we've tried haven't had them.
That's crazy.
And look, I do believe it's a letdown. I love the Bush Ranger Spartan product, but really, I think they missed the ball on that.
That's huge.
I think you need to have it. I think it should be across the board now. From a certain tier, I don't think if you buy a $7,000 machine that they necessarily have to have it.
No.
But mate, if you're spending 15, 20 grand,
you want front
and the
flat freeze.
The explanation that you get is like, oh, fucking fill them up with gel or do something like that.
It's
but mate, you've already spent the money.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You want to be able to...
You don't have to fucking go somewhere else and do it.
Yeah.
So there is... Look, that particular brand, the Spartans, they have a lot of great features. And we can't deny that.
No.
So you have to draw the line somewhere. But I do feel that, your basics... they get you through. Through in those hard times. And flat free fronts is just, it's huge.
And I don't think there's that many, because Ferris have flat frees.
I've got to be honest. I couldn't tell you.
I don't know any of them.
I couldn't tell you all the brands that are doing it.
I think most.
It's something that we all overlook, right?
Yeah, it should be a standard. I think,
mate. It's no gimmick. It's a dead set.
Because there's nothing worse than you've got to get your tyre pressures at the back right. It just saves having to worry about the front. You don't have to worry about that at all. You grease them and that's it. You don't have to blow them up. You don't have to take them down. You don't have to chuck a tube in. Nothing. It's all good.
Yeah, and it's just, So, Geez, there's a lot of meat on the bone today, hey?
Just a bit of meat.
So let us talk about the floating engine from Wright mowers.
Yeah.
Now, it's not exclusive. Ferris copied it.
Yeah.
On like their higher end, might be the Z3 or whatever. The Wright has it on the ZK. Not sure what other machines they're offering it on, but can you explain to everyone what this is for, or do you understand?
Look, I haven't really looked into it.
Yep.
I have ridden a ZK, a 61 inch.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of time. It's always good to get a feel for some mowers. I thought it was a pretty good ride.
Did you lift the deck at all?
No, I didn't.
Okay, because it's significantly lighter than say my Skag. Now, I've always had beef. I've always had beef with how heavy my Skag is. Now, that might not translate to some people like BJ or anyone else, but
Just Ben.
It is very, very heavy. So heavy that I have to stand off the machine because I actually feel like I'm going to injure myself.
Yeah, see, I didn't. When I borrowed your V ride, I didn't get that at all. So I did actually lift the deck. I tell fibs, and it's got like a staged deck lift. Is that right?
So that's one option.
Through, and then it's got the pin.
That's an override option. Actually, that's something that we probably. I mean, I left that out, but I'm just talking. So disregard that system because that's an override. But for something that is lifting a 61-inch fucking deck, and it's a strong deck with a big engine on it.
Yeah.
It is so buttery smooth.
So there'd definitely be some fucking big springs assisting.
Big springs. Now, what you were saying about the override, it actually has another handle with notches in it. Now, rather than the foot pedal system, what this override is like, and I don't know how much it happens in America. Obviously, there's a reason for it, but like I know when we were demoing it, we were cutting one paddock at a level. And then you could physically see like a section of that paddock was it just looked like you needed to go either up or down on the levels. And this override system, it means you can just click it up like 1, 2 or 3 notches, or 10 if you want to, and mow that section. Then you can immediately drop that. You just engage the button, push it down, and it goes back to the level that you were on before. So it's pretty cool. So
the feature that I didn't, for me, wasn't cool on the Wrights was that where they put the pin height. That's the only thing, because I've got big fucking solid legs. Like I've got big thick legs, and they've put it right where your knee would live. That override is basically
that's right. So
necessity.
Yeah. I actually, I don't know that I mind. I don't think I spent enough time to really gauge it.
Yeah.
Look,
see, for me, I automatically, my knee was touching the pin, so I know if I was hitting like some heavy fucking hills or bumps, or like I know that that would frustrate me getting fucking nabbed.
But we all don't have 70-inch diameter legs, right?
Everyone doesn't have to stand with this sort of gape.
So I want to circle back to the floating engine. So what it does is it keeps, this is just on a stand-on, it keeps the angle of the blade cutting belt true. So instead of, and people who are watching this on YouTube will get a better visual, obviously, because they're watching it. But with some of the stand-ons, especially in our market, because we're mowing low, the belt is dipping forward.
Yeah.
And it puts strain on the belt. With this system, with the engine floating up and down, it's able to maintain a much flatter position, which increases longevity and does all of those sorts of things. So something very innovative. The Wright brand has always been very innovative.
100%.
And what is funny about it is they put a patent on something, 5-7 year patent, and they don't ever seem to renew those patents. They just let other people copy.
Yeah. Catch up.
Yeah, so now I do want to talk about a feature of Wright mowers that I don't really like.
What's that?
The quad lever control.
Oh, yes.
I'm just not sure. I love the Wright brand and I love Ed, and Certainly love the guys over here at Cox that are
He loves cocks.
I love the cock. But the quad lever control, I just don't really think it's necessary, and I don't believe I found a positive to it. I understand it's different, and I think for them to differentiate themselves from other brands is good, but yeah, I mean, it takes 5 minutes to get used to.
Yeah, it was weird to get used to.
It doesn't take long to get used to once you start using the machine.
Did I go backwards first?
Well, essentially it is the opposite.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But I just don't believe it's as efficient as the regular system.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's kind of here or there.
Yeah.
The dumb thing is that Xmark copied it.
Yeah.
So the fucking joke's on them.
You'd have to get used to it. You wouldn't want to tell anyone you bought a $27,000 machine and you fucking
no, you will
hate
get
the way it moves.
no, so you will. So that's the thing. You will get used to it. Like it's
like everything.
I can't really say that there's any major down points about it. I just kind of don't understand. Like, I don't think there's any positives to it. I don't think it's like, hey, let's buy a right because of the quad lever. That's not why you buy one. And suck shit to Xmark who copied a fucking something that's just not as good as the rest. They copied the whole fucking machine.
Did they really?
Yeah, it's the Xmark Vertex. Everyone go and have a Google.
Yeah.
It's a fucking right machine, just painted red. Really embarrassing for that brand.
Yeah, that's weird.
Look, I understand when other brands take certain features and incorporate it, into their machines.
Imagine if the paint started flaking, it was yellow underneath.
That's funny.
Fucking lazy.
So the last one that we have,
the Altos. Yeah, so this is a weird one. I personally have never seen one. I know you've had some dealings with someone who's running these in Queensland, I believe.
Yes, still never seen one in person.
So these machines, they're like, I don't know about their normal everyday machines. I know at the GIE and things like that, they're shown with some fucking crazy features. But these guys actually have chucked tracks on their machines. So they're like a mini tank.
And they have the first tracked stand on.
Oh, they've got it. Yeah, that's right. I saw the stand on as well.
Yeah. So, look, niche market stuff here.
Eliminates flat tyres.
Yeah.
Imagine if they didn't have flat free fronts. Still going to pump the front fucking
well, actually, I think the front casters are tracks as well.
Are they?
I think everything's a track.
Ooh.
Yeah. Actually, no, wait. I could...
Not on the sit-down machine, maybe on the stand-up.
I just realised that wouldn't work.
Now, I wonder, with the tracks, are you sacrificing speed? Because I haven't looked into it.
Okay, so there is a video. I haven't looked at it recently. And I think, probably 2 years ago now, realistically, when I think about it. Because I think I was high on endone.
Oh, okay. Good time to be searching YouTube.
Yeah, well, I used to get in my work rage, my endone rage. But there was a video I watched. It was like two American park contractors. Like they must have done council parks over there. And they did a awesome video highlighting these track mowers. And they were like holding hills so good. They were able to do some really rough terrain, and they were also doing finishing terrain. And it's just a really great video. So look, I do believe the Altos are in our market. They had a distributor which was, I believe, the same distributor as Red Max.
Oh, okay.
Which is your red Huskies, right?
Yep.
I think I heard that there's a mower store in Brisbane that is now the distributor, which I don't understand how it's going to work, or even if that's true. But you can always Google Altos, have a look. We can't really speak for the machine itself, just the tracks.
Yeah, that's the only feature.
Hey, look, there'd be some times where we could have used some tracks on the last fucking 8 months.
Yeah, 100%. I definitely could have used it on the 40. That would have made life a little bit easier. But I wonder what I don't know. I wonder if there's a depth where it gets to where it's just not I don't know, not viable with the tracks. I've seen it cruise through swamp, like proper, just fucking disgusting swampage.
I mean, look, when you think about it, dude, tanks have tracks for a reason.
That's true.
You know, so I think it's a pretty credible system. You'll know how much credibility it has if any other brand starts doing it.
Yeah.
I can't remember if we briefly talked about Tweels.
Yeah.
Have we talked about Tweels?
We've talked about Tweels before, not in depth.
No, today.
Oh, not today, no.
Because it's not, look, I think the only mowers that really come out with Tweels could be like a Deere, maybe you're right.
Yeah.
Similar concept in the sense that I think the Tweel was first invented by the military.
Mm-hmm.
Developed for the military for sure.
For Hummers and stuff like that.
Yeah, just as an all-terrain option.
Yeah.
You know, and that crossed over, and it is becoming. And I do believe in the next. Like, there's been skepticism, but look, grip and top end is one thing, but mate, not getting flats is just a completely different thing.
Yeah.
Like, there is nothing worse than when you're trying to level your deck and you've got so many fucking variables.
Yeah.
You know, you got to do your tire pressures, you got to do this, you got to do that. It just takes one more thing out of it.
Yeah. And the longevity is one of the things that sort of draws me towards them. Like, I think something like double to 3 times the longevity of a normal tyre.
Yeah.
Which price-wise, I think they are like 3 times more than a normal tyre would be. Maybe even more.
Yeah.
But with the added bonus of, you know, flat-free, I think it might be a viable thing.
And everyone really has to look at it for what it is. Like, let's say my V-Ride, for example, I've never actually physically changed one of those tyres. So let's say I originally bought new tyres and they cost me $300. Technically, instead of spending $1,500 on a pair of Tweels, you know, I'm way in front.
Yeah.
Because I've only spent $300, right? But seriously, the amount of fuck arounds that I've had, it's got nothing to do with the brand or the tyre or anything. It's just the simple fact you accidentally drive over a screw and fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to plug that thing, you got to do this, you got to do that. You know, you got your valve stems which fuck out every once in a while. Yeah, you drive through. I think when we went through a really muddy part when I was still a contractor, I had so many issues with the valve cores because I was deep in mud.
Yeah. And
it just messes with them, you know, shit presses on the thing.
Oh, because you don't run with caps on, do you? Do you have your...
Yeah, I've got Scullies.
Oh, you got your Scullies on still?
Yeah. But...
Well, yeah, and let's be realistic, how fucking cool do they look?
Tweels look real cool,
they look
man.
Pretty cool.
So, you know, at Catch Pro, we've been trying to get some things going.
Yeah.
Haven't been successful yet. But look, I do believe it's coming.
Ooh.
And yeah, I hope to see it. I hope to see it eventuate.
Fuck
now,
yeah.
It is almost time to put a bow on it. But
we didn't mention something though.
Okay.
We didn't.
Well,
mention...
I was going to say something else, but
yeah. Sorry.
No, you go. No.
All right. No, so I was going to mention. We didn't mention any of the bat wings. Say like the Hustler 104. Now I think it's.
So what do we got first? We got Toro X Mark, Hustler.
Yeah, I think that's about it.
Are we just going to stay within the zero turn because there's obviously huge Kubotas?
Yeah, and like, well, you got your biggest stand on is the Super 88 from Hustler as well. Now I don't know about you, but I think that 104 might be a bit of a gimmick. From the feedback that I've seen, I think maybe it's a little underpowered for what it is.
Well, I respectfully disagree. I don't think it's a gimmick by any means. But as far as your top end goes, like when you've got 104 inches, you know, sometimes you have to make a sacrifice somewhere.
Yeah.
And those mowers they're not finishing mowers. They're for cutting serious fucking land.
Yeah, but wouldn't you put a diesel on the back of it or something then? You wouldn't put a fucking 30.
I mean, I'm not an engineer. I've seen them in use.
Well, could you imagine
I
a
know
37 horsepower trying to move grass through 104 inches of deck?
Well, it's not. So it's rear. It's rear discharge. It's just cutting it and dropping it.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's a unique system for it is for a unique market. You know, like we've seen videos of Americans trying to strike with them and they're fucking everything up, and that's not what they're for.
Yeah. So that's a land clearing machine, you think?
Not necessarily land clearing, but it's meant for, you know, like say the 40 acres if you didn't have the 20 acres of trees.
Yeah.
How would it would be incredibly efficient. You could have the fastest machine. I actually believe you could have whatever the fastest 72 is up against that 104, and the 104 would be more productive.
Really?
Based off what I've seen. So I saw Dirt Monkey mow a football field, which is like, I don't know what their football fields are over there.
Yeah.
It's like a fucking football field, right? Yeah. In like 8 or 9 minutes.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, I mean, I know I've mowed a football field here, and you're looking at about an hour.
Really?
The football field that I mowed, yeah, I mean, we were cutting it nicely, like we weren't flooring.
Yeah.
And we weren't just cutting like try line to try line. We were cutting the whole, you know. So,
yeah.
But yeah, look, I know you've spoken to someone who has one, right?
Yeah. Well, I've just seen comments and looked at reviews and things like that. So.
Yeah. No, look, I believe, you know, if you were to do the 20 acre paddock at the 40 acres,
yeah,
I think you'd fall in love with it. There is no drawback. I don't know what the top end is. It would depend on what the hydros are.
Let's look it up after this. Maybe we can chuck that.
Yeah, maybe we can go back next episode.
Yeah, just because I would be interested to see if you put it up against, say, like a 61-inch cheetah that's rolling at 26 k's an hour, and your fucking 104 is doing what? Maybe 15 k's an hour?
Well, I don't actually know how fast it's going.
We'll see. We'll see. Like,
I don't actually know how fast
deck
it's going.
size, no doubt it's a fucking unit. But
and there's features on the deck too. So these wings, like if you are doing sloped areas and everything, you can sit on top of a slope and that wing will fall down and cut a whole area.
Okay.
There's other parts of that machine.
So that's a niche machine. That's not just like, I've got a big lot of grass, let's hit it. You can do slopes, you can do...
It's for guys that
I wonder what the centre of gravity is like on it. Like if you could put it on a decent slope.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be hard to fucking tip a machine that fucking big. I mean, those wings are going to keep you steady.
Yeah.
So...
It'd be fucking frightening if you did. Imagine fucking 60 inches of deck coming down on top of you.
Yeah. I mean, look, there's a reason why people who do that type of work have 12-foot wing mowers and stuff like that. None of those mowers go fast.
Yeah.
You know, this is kind of giving you your... you know, and you're able to lift those wings up to store it and stuff like that. Look, I don't know, it could be a pig. I've never ridden one. But I don't think I would be ready yet, even with the comments that have been said. You know, I think the machine costs like 37 or 40,000 or something. Probably 40,000 right now. So serious investment.
Big investment.
You know, really serious investment. And you'd want to have the bloody work for it. Like you ain't messing around buying it for one property.
No.
But incredibly productive machine. Now, just quickly, I do have a note here about the actual Hustler Hyperdrive system.
Oh yeah.
Look, I don't know any of the science or specs or anything behind this, but I have ridden a Hyperdrive. The drive system is buttery smooth. The machine is every bit of, you know, a fucking machine.
Yeah, it's not a bad machine.
Been super popular across all markets. So Hyperdrive, you know, that's kind of exclusive to them.
Oh,
good feature.
Another one. Skag Turf Tiger is shaft driven. So that's another one I forgot about.
So I didn't look at any of that.
So it puts about an extra 30% of fucking on the tip of power.
Yeah,
on the tip.
right.
So
right.
that's what would lean me towards a turf tiger. If I was going to get something, I would get a turf tiger.
Yeah, and is there any other machines that are shaft driven?
Not that I know of, but there could be.
There could be, yeah. So, but no, that's really good. point.
No belts.
Yeah, I mean, hey, belts. They're the fucking death of us all. And I haven't had many issues with belts at all.
No.
Yeah, I've had a good run with belts, but geez, we see some shockers out there.
Yeah.
People who just can't get it right. And bad luck and all sorts of shit.
Yeah, bad luck seems to be fucking grabbing a few people. Michael Carroll, that poor
I think
man.
he's having car dramas too.
Fucking not just that. He messaged me the other day and said that not only so his worker ditched him on a Sunday. He had to do a massive 7 cubic metre rock job. These are big rocks too. So his worker ditched him. Then his fucking car shit itself. He borrowed a neighbour's car, packed his tools in the back, and apparently got broken into that night.
Oh, dude.
That's a fucking dog of a week, isn't it?
That's
he messaged me on Monday. I tried to call him. We played a bit of phone tag. I didn't get a hold of him. He put a post on LMCA, but I was just ringing to see if he was all good, because fuck me, that's a shocker.
Yeah, no, that's harsh. All right, well, I think we're getting ready to sign out now. Before we do, upcoming on Sunday's episode, we have some controversial topics to talk about. Not in terms of a whole episode, just a few things to glaze over. And remember also to jump on the Trade Tools website, check out their range. Some of
follow them on their socials. Maybe like
they have a really cool. I sort of made some comments before about Sydney Tools and Total Tools and stuff, but all of those platforms have some really funny content.
Yeah.
They're pretty creative with
they
some
have
of their
some
stuff.
like informative stuff too, new tools that come out and things like that. So
absolutely,
jump on their socials, give them a like.
And whenever you buy something from the Trade Tools website, tell them where you heard about it.
Yeah, please. If you're on Instagram or Facebook or anything, tag them, tag us. That way they know that,
So what's going to happen is it's going to end up being great for our listeners, because if we can prove that we have a good following of credible buyers, then we can hopefully give back to the audience.
Yeah.
And we want to get a code running. We believe that that's where the incentive is. But hey, baby steps, right?
That's it, 100%. It's better than nothing.
Until Sunday, I am Ben at Catch Pro. He is at TBL Property Maintenance. We are out of time.
Peace.